Hello and welcome to another episode of The Hub on Vital MX, your one-stop shop for motocross news from around the world. And although there was no pro motocross round this past weekend, and there isn't one this coming weekend either, there is still plenty of news pertaining to the top American stars, and a lot of it surrounding the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations. Starting there, Team Australia has been confirmed as Jet Lawrence, Kyle Webster, and Hunter Lawrence. Classes have not been confirmed at this time, but all signs indicate that Kyle Webster will steer the 250F once more, meaning Australia are running it back to the same team that won them the Chamberlain Trophy in 2024. That was, of course, the first time that they lifted the prestigious cup. Team Canada has been confirmed as well. Jess Pettis, Tanner Ward and Sebastian Racing will represent Canada when everyone rolls into Ironman on the first weekend in October. Note that there is no Dylan Wright on the team. That has ruffled quite a few feathers north of the border, let's say. Denmark have announced their trio of riders. Mikkel Harrup, Magnus Smith and Mads Fredso will represent Denmark. That is a fairly solid team, although two names may be unrecognisable to most of you. That is certainly an A-final worthy team, carried by Harrup, of course, and this is poignant, as Denmark previously didn't send a team to either Redbud edition of the event. So a step forward for the Danish. Unfortunately, Team Norway, another Nordic country, aren't looking too strong for Ironman, and in fact I would doubt that they will even send a team. Kevin Horgmo is out for the season, as we covered last week, and now Cornelius Tundel is out for the season as well with a fracture in his right leg. Tundel, of course, is now well known after his heroics at recent pro motocross events. There is a Team USA update, although the three riders will not be confirmed until the Ironman National in a little over a week. Roger DaCosta has stepped down as team manager of Team USA and will be replaced by the AMA Director of Racing, Mike Pelletier. Pelletier will of course lean on a variety of personalities around him to make decisions and put Team USA back on top for the first time since 2022, but it seems that Pelletier will be the forward-facing team manager from this point forward. In the official statement, the AMA stated that they wanted to follow the movements of other national federations, a lot of them also leaning on their governing body. In WSX news, more wildcards have been announced. Vancouver on November the 15th will include Ken Roxon, Eli Tomac and Justin Cooper. Very interesting that WSX are going down the wildcard route rather than signing people up for the full series. Makes me wonder how the championship standings will shake out at the end of the season and whether the champion will actually be worthy of headlines at all. Maybe he'll be overshadowed by these wildcards. Also curious because if Eli Tomac has signed with KTM, that's a lot of off-season racing for him to fit in around testing and getting acclimatized to a new bike. So a lot to consider with that announcement. We mentioned that Cornelius Tundel is out for the season with a fracture in his leg. Well, he will be replaced this weekend by another American wildcard favourite, Lars van Berkel. Of course, he's racing up in Canada this season, but is taking advantage of the weekend off to return to Europe and race in the deep sand of Lommel, where he should be ultra competitive. In off-the-track news, KTM announced that their production line is fully operational once more, running 5 days a week, as it would when the brand was firing on all cylinders. This is, of course, a poignant moment as they continue their climb towards normality once more. And certainly, it seems as though we can put all of the KTM speculation and doubt in the rear view mirror. There's more to celebrate at KTM as well, as Jeffrey Hurlings will return to racing at this weekend's Grand Prix of Flanders, that being Lommel in Belgium. Hurlings will put a cat amongst the pigeons in the MXGP title fight, which is now extremely exciting. Roman Fevre leads Lucas Koenen by just 10 points, so it's essentially winner takes all across the final 6 rounds. 10 points is obviously minuscule, and it's Koenen with all the momentum after back-to-back GP wins and not dropping out of the top 2 across the last 9 rounds. A remarkable stat for a rookie, in fact reminiscent of when Romain Febvre won his first world title as a rookie in 2015. In MX2, Simon Lagenfelder has a firm grip on the red plate now after another Grand Prix win at Locket, his 4th of the season, but Lommel will provide an opportunity for Kai de Wolf to bounce back and cut a significant amount out of his deficit. So, although everything appears to be leaning in Simon Lagenfelder's favour, let's not jump to conclusions until the classification of the Flanders Grand Prix has been finalised. I think that would be wise. Lommel is of course a great weekend of racing, arguably the best Grand Prix of the season, and you can watch that on MXGP TV to fill the void in your life as we await the return of Pro Motocross, which will of course be next weekend at the Ironman National. Before then, however, we will be back with another episode of The Hub to recap all that has happened in the world of motocross.